In World English's vocabulary, we see a large number of borrowings from indigenous languages, as well as a very innovative and distinctive use of English idioms. Let's take a look at some of the borrowings from indigenous languages. We are all too familiar with the word chai. Chai is used to mean tea, not only in Pakistan and India, but also in some East African countries. So in all these countries, the word chai is used in place of tea when speaking English. Another word is the word crore when you want to refer to the figure of 10 million. In Pakistan and India, the word crore is used. Similarly, another variation on local word is Goondaism, to mean violent and noisy behavior. This is a variation on the word or compounding of the word Gunda, which means hooligan, and the addition of the suffix ism to mean violent and noisy behavior. In terms of idioms, we find two kinds of uses. One is the unsuccessful attempts to use idioms from the native English. People from outer circle countries try and use these idioms from native English, but sometimes make mistakes or make different kinds of errors. The other is stabilized use of idioms, but these idioms are not native English idioms. They are the idioms which are created in new Englishes. Let's take a look first at these unsuccessful attempts. The examples that we will be looking at are a result of variations caused by pronunciation differences. Gift of the gab is an idiom in English which means to be a smooth talker. In Singaporean English, gift of the gab is pronounced as gift of the gap. Similarly, this very frequently used English idiom by leaps and bounds is pronounced as by lips and bounds. Instead of leap, the sound is pronounced as lip. So by lips and bounds in place of leaps and bounds, which is likely to cause confusion to the listeners. So this variation is also used in many outer circle countries. Then there are idioms which are direct translations from indigenous idioms. So that the idiom in the indigenous language will be translated word for word in English. One example is from Malaysian English, and the idiom is to shake legs. To shake legs is not a native English idiom. It is a Malaysian English idiom and is translated from a Malaysian idiom which means to be idle, to do nothing, to be idle. Then we have this idiom in Pakistan when you say you have eaten somebody's salt, which means you are loyal to them. Namak khana kisi ka, as we say in Urdu. So in Pakistani English, often this idiom is translated into English and people use it to mean the same thing, and we hear this phrase to eat someone's salt. Then idioms are also formed by combining elements from English with indigenous forms. This example is from Nigerian English. To put sand in someone's gari. Gari is a Nigerian word which means some kind of a flour. To put sand in someone's gari means to threaten someone's livelihood. Then there are variations on native English idioms. These are not coinages or these idioms are not formed by combining elements from indigenous languages or English, but they are variations on the native idioms. So we have this idiom in English, to have your cake and eat it too. For example, you can't have your cake and eat it too. In Singaporean English, this idiom is reversed a little and they use it as to eat your cake and have it too. Similarly, we have this idiom which is used very commonly in Pakistani English, to be in hot soup. You even find this idiom in grammar textbooks, which students use as reference books when they are preparing for their exams. To be in hot soup actually is a combination of two separate English idioms. One is to be in hot water, and the other is to be in the soup. Though both the idioms mean to be in trouble, and to be in hot soup also means to be in trouble, but this idiom is formed by combining two separate English idioms. So this highlights the difficulty one has in distinguishing between an incorrect use of the English or creativity of the bilinguals or creativity of the English speakers from the outer circles. Because of such uses of English, it becomes very difficult to identify whether what the person is saying is an error or whether it is creation or an invention and innovation of the outer circle speakers.